We are now going to start working with temperature, which is a very nice subject. It's a practical and relevant theme for us to do. Since we are now moving to some warmer temperatures, it's going to be relatable for us to talk about. So, what do we use this measuring instrument for? We use it to measure temperature. And what is it called? It is called a thermometer, and we use it to determine is it a cold day or is it a hot day, especially this one. This one comes out of my class, and I'm sure some of you also see this in your own classes. Okay, so what is important about this thermometer? The most important thing is that you must see in what symbol this will be shown. So you will see there are two symbols on this thermometer, degrees Celsius and then degrees Fahrenheit. So in South Africa we use degrees Celsius, so we will be working with the left numbers. We have naught, which is our freezing point. You will see it says there on the thermometer it's the freezing point. And then if it's colder than naught, we move downwards into the negative numbers. So this is going to test our knowledge, grade 6s, when we work with temperatures, to realize that we can actually go lower than naught. So far this year we only worked with numbers higher than naught. So let's see, if we have naught and we go 1 degree lower, we have -1. Another degree lower we have -2, -3, 4 and -5. So the numbers increase as we go down and it gets colder. So if I ask you, is -10 or -40 the coldest one? You would say, yes, -40. So the higher we go up, the warmer we get, the lower we go, the colder it gets. Okay, so this is the thermometer, and the most important thing is we can go into negative numbers. You have now pasted this explanation page in your books. You're welcome to get out a highlighter and then you can highlight while you watch the video. So as we start, the heading is measure temperature. This section deals with different thermometers. Okay, and you will see there's two examples on the page itself. The one is where you measure your fever, and then we also have, it looks like a remote of an aircon here on the left hand side, showing us two temperatures, 31.8 degrees Celsius and then 32.6 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the first boy, he's got a nice pan of cookies there in his hands. He says, I baked my cookies for 15 minutes at 150 degrees Celsius. So please highlight baked and 150 degrees. Where do you think he baked these cookies, grade 6s? Yes, in the oven. It was very hot today. The girl said the temperature was 32 degrees Celsius. So please highlight hot today and 32 degrees. The next girl is saying, when I am healthy, my body temperature is, and then please fill in there, 37 degrees Celsius. In winter, the temperature drops in certain places in South Africa to -5. Please highlight -5 and winter. So those are different examples of where we would normally measure the temperature. At the bottom of that page, you have a table. Again, you've got an example of a thermometer showing you at 100 degrees water boils. So please highlight 100 as well as water boils. Then 30 degrees, you can highlight hot summer's day. When it's 0 degrees Celsius, water freezes, the freezing point. So highlight 0 and then water freezes. And then what is inside a thermometer, moving up and down as the temperatures increase and decrease, is mercury. Okay, so that's the substance inside the thermometer showing us the temperature. So let's read. We measure temperature in degrees Celsius. You can highlight these two words, degrees Celsius, as well as the symbol, which is the degree sign and then the capital letter C. This thermometer shows that everyday temperatures we measure in degrees Celsius, so that's your normal one. The degrees on a thermometer shows how hot or cold, highlight hot, cold. The mercury rises if it gets hot, highlight rises, hot. And then the mercury drops if it gets too cold, highlight drops, cold. So that's the relationship you have to see. It goes up when it's warm and it goes down as it gets colder. Here's two examples of temperatures again. 0.5 degrees Celsius. That's probably somewhere in Bloemfontein or Sutherland in the wintertime or early mornings, late evenings. And then 22 degrees Celsius. That's almost room temperature. Room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. So you have to open your books on page 204 so that you can clearly see these thermometers. It says getting started. Write down the temperatures of the birds and animals shown on these thermometers. Now grade 6s, you pasted in this page after the explanation page because it's all about temperatures and thermometers. So a dog has a temperature of, can you see in your books? Yes, 37 degrees Celsius. So next to dog, just write 37 degrees Celsius. A seagull has a temperature of, yes, 39 degrees Celsius. So again, next to seagull, write 39 degrees Celsius. And then a kangaroo, number C, has a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. So you will see the mercury stops there right at the start of that thermometer. Number 2, which animal or bird has the same temperature as a human being? So from the dog, the seagull, and the kangaroo, a dog is closest to a human with a body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. So please make sure you've written the temperatures next to the names, and then at the end at number 2 you can just write dog.